Hi, hello everyone, Richard Hafer here. This is the fourth part of the Dead Space Remake modding series, and today I'm going to be covering an important topic, which is combining mods for the game. Um, this is mainly for non-modders, but important for everyone, to be honest. We've had a lot of people asking and having problems in the last few weeks, especially on the Dead Space Remake modding Discord, which all links I'm going to be using, including the Discord, is in the description of this video. So yeah, today I'm going to be covering how to use the Frosty suit mod manager to combine multiple mods into one mod, and then how to install that manually into Dead Space Remake, because of the way Dead Space Remake works, we have to install the mods by ourselves. Unfortunately, it doesn't do it automatically, installing, like applying and deleting mods from the game. It doesn't do it by itself, so we're gonna have to do it ourselves. But anyways, if you want a text version of this tutorial, you can go to this article on the Dead Space Remake nexusmods site, how to apply multiple mods. But in this video I'm going to be showing you it like this, of course, and I'm going to be covering all situations. So what you obviously, the major point is what to do with FB mod files, which are specific for Frosty mod manager, what to do with loose files, and also what you can do with a project file you have. So anyways, let's begin. So first, of course, you need Dead Space Remake installed, and then we will have to go to the to this website on the GitHub and go on the Frosty Tool Suite fork maintained by Hargapt, and we're gonna go to releases. And for those of you who've been following the series, should already be familiar with this page. But if you're just a consumer of the mods, you only need the mod manager. But later on, if you're also following how to open a project file, you also need the editor. But most of you don't only need the mod manager. You're gonna download it and then extract it somewhere, and it's gonna look like this right here. I already have a key file. I'm gonna delete this, don't worry. And then we will simply launch the Frosty mod manager. Now today I'm going to be combining, by the way, I'm going to be combining as a showcase the zealot mode mod and the scorpion suit, and also a laser color weapon pack mod. So we're going to be combining 3 mods into one today with FB mods. But anyways, once Frosty mod manager is opened, you will have to add the game. You're going to have to find its executable. For me, I have Dead Space Remake installed on an external hard drive, so it's not in C or anything for me, but you're just going to select it. I already have it here, of course. And then when we click on it, double click on it, it's going to create a cache for the mod manager. So this can take anywhere from, like, I don't know, 1 minute to 30 minutes. For me, even with a fast computer, it took a while. But because I already did this a couple times, for me it's gonna launch immediately. Oh, yeah, okay, there's already the encryption step, sorry. Now this has caused a lot of confusion, and it's actually very simple. Of course, the link is gonna be in the description. We're gonna be using, what we can use is the FIFA 2019 encryption key from this pastebin link. You can just double click and copy it and then paste it in here, and then it will create the cache. But because, as I said, I've done this before, it loaded immediately. Now you can ignore this. I need to remove these. It should look empty like this for you. Now you've probably already downloaded a couple mods from nexusmods here. You've signed in probably and downloaded them, and we can easily add them here in the mod manager. Now we click on add mods, and we're gonna go to our downloads, for example. Mine is right here, ignore the name please. And we can actually double click on the zip files, and the mod manager will automatically look for FB mod files inside the zips. So if we open the zip file ourselves, by the way, we can see in here it's just a simple FB mod but we don't need to extract it ourselves. It will automatically do it for us. And now it's here. When we click on a mod here on the left, available mods, they aren't applied yet, by the way. We can see the description, some images, low quality images that are in here. And we can also see what files this Scorpion Suit mod affects or like modifies. So this is important for conflicts. So if you have multiple mods that and some of them replace or modify the same file, then there's going to be a priority system that we're going to be changing with the arrows here in a minute. So of course, when we add zealot mode and the weapon laser pack in a minute, we will want to put zealot mode as at the bottom pretty much of the poll priority. So all these other two mods replace the proper files. So we will just go ahead and do exactly that. Inside the newest zealot mode update, there's also a simple FB mod. When we open this ourselves, you can see that there's this folder here, if not using Frosty editor, blah, blah, blah. This is actually what we will need. We don't need this folder right here, where this is basically the mod without FB mod. These are the loose files. This is bad. You cannot combine it like this in any way. This is only useful if you want to specifically play zealot mode without anything else. But yeah. So we will just double click zealot mode and it will be here. And next I will add that weapon laser color pack. And in that weapon laser color pack there was actually multiple variants. And now we will go ahead and double click the mod and it will be added to the applied mods. So, well, it says applied, but they haven't been applied to the game yet, which, well, it doesn't do it anyways. We will have to do it ourselves. But we will now go ahead and add Scorpion Suit. And of course, I want a red laser. Now, very important, as I said a minute ago, we want zealot mode to have the least priority. So it stays at the top of the list. So basically, zealot mode is going to be loaded first, and then these two mods are going to be loaded after for like the priority list, because I'm pretty sure they have some conflicting files. Yeah, as you can see, there's some conflicting files. I remember the Scorpion Suit changes some upgrades. It changes the armor to 25%, and I believe zealot mode changes the armor of the level 5 suit to actually be weaker. So we're going to have stronger armor stats with the Scorpion Suit overwriting it. But yeah, now this is pretty much done. And we will already go to our Dead Space installation again. I'm going to delete this mod data folder because it should not be here for you. But now we could actually just click on launch and then it will do its stuff and combine the mods into one. However, before you do that, I do recommend you to go ahead and go to my number 3 tutorial of the series and look in there how to create a backup. This is just a recommendation. You don't need to create a backup, but I explain it in the most efficient way. This written tutorial also very quickly explains how to uninstall mods and get back the vanilla files by just verifying the integrity of the files in Steam. But in my last video I show a bit of a more efficient method, but you can go ahead and do whatever you want. And now we will click on launch. Now this is going to be a bit of a complicated step and you will just have to follow me. It will say new installation detected. We click on OK. Here we're going to click on yes. And now we'll actually click on no on the next Windows permissions pop-up. And now it will ask us to launch the game with a custom parameter, a launch argument. And unfortunately Dead Space Remake does not support launch arguments. So this is exactly why we will have to do all this manual steps of installing the mods, for installing our combined mod now. In a minute. So we actually click on cancel. We don't launch the game yet because the mods aren't even applied yet. Now what we will do, is go inside this newly created mod data folder, and we will see if we go into data, this is where the mod is now. That got packaged together from multiple mods. And we will see all these 0 kilobyte .sys symlink files. We don't want these files because they would have been used with the launch argument, but since DESCRIPCION remake doesn't support launch arguments, we're gonna have to do a certain step. So do you remember how it just said new installation detected? That is good, because now we have let it create the mod data, and what we will do is we will go back to data and just delete everything in here and go ahead and launch the mod again, but now we will click on no the next time it asks us for permission and cancel the start again. And now, as you can see, we have avoided these 0 kilobyte system link files, and now our mod is ready for drag and drop install into the base game, which is very good. So we will go ahead and do just that. I'll just copy paste this, and we'll copy and paste this right here. And now we are already ready to go ahead and start the game. Alright, and now inside the game we see that we have the Obsidian suit and Zealot mode installed. Now there's a little thing about the armor stat. For some reason in Dead Space Remake the armor on suits is additive, so it's not set per suit. So yeah, basically the game is not programmed in such a way where each suit has a set armor percentage. It says here 22%, even though the Obsidian suit mod gives it 25%. That's just because I think Zealot mode, if I understood the explanation by the mod creator in the Discord correctly, the previous suits, he made them obviously have a bit less armor. The Obsidian mod suit here, I think it adds 10% from level 4 to 5. And because the previous suits are a bit less, and this mod only changes the level 5 and 6 suits, we are at 22% armor instead of 25 as it should be. But honestly, no big deal. We also see that we have the red laser now. Really cool with the classic dots from the Zealot mode itself. And yeah, it works, which is very nice. Very nice. Alright, but now I have to do a very important notice. Whenever you want to recompile again, we will now have to delete any installed mods from our game. Now you can follow the uninstall section from my last video, the part 3, but now I'm gonna do it in a very quick, I'm gonna show it very quickly because I'm basically just repeating myself at this point across 2 tutorials. So I have created a backup right here. I will copy paste it into the normal data, go into streaming install, the first folder at the top. I'm going to delete everything after 6.2. And in the second folder here, I'm going to delete everything. You can look at the dates difference in here, and we're going to be deleting everything after 60. I think it's 63. Yeah, 63. Oops. And in the bottom folder here, we're going to be deleting everything after 44. And now our game is already back to vanilla. You can go back into this folder, delete everything that it had created. And now, for example, if you don't want the red laser anymore, gonna remove this. If you don't want the red laser anymore, we can instead select the pink laser. If I don't want the suit anymore, I can now go ahead and compile these mods together like this, and click on no, and cancel this, and do these steps again. But now we always only can press on cancel on both the admin, Windows asking for permissions, and Steam wanting to launch the game. this is pretty much the same step as for uninstalling. Now this part of the video is for modders, but also if you have a project file. If you have a project file and you want to combine, for example, if you have zealot mods project file and you want to make changes to it and compile it into a FB mod for use with Frosty mod manager, that is actually very simple. If you haven't already, you can download the editor from the fork again, extract it, blah, 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 and you will do the same steps as adding the game here, letting it create the cache. And now if I go to one of my projects, for example, YouTube test, where I made a simple suit, to compile it into a FB mod, we'll go to file and export the mod. And now this right here is called Purple Isaac, for example. You can select images for the mod to have. When we description, and then we click on save, see where it should create the FB mod, and it has already created a FB mod which can be used and for Frosty mod manager, and can be shared on the internet for download. Alright, I think this was all I wanted to cover today. I covered FB mod, what to do with a project file. I didn't really, if you have loose files, like I already explained earlier with the zealot mode, those separate files, there's nothing much you can do with that. You cannot do anything pretty much with loose files unless you have the project file or FB mod. And you can also not extract FB mod into loose files. And you can also not convert loose files into a FB mod without a project file. So these are all very important notes. But anyways, I hope you found this tutorial helpful. It was a bit messy, but it is overall kind of a messy topic. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.